Bumble stock had an IPO last month at over $70 a share with a $14 billion valuation. And with online dating apps growing more popular each and every day with the pandemic and people staying inside trying to find love, I asked myself, would this be a good stock to buy? So with this video, we're going to do a deep dive into Bumble's stock. And if you like the video, make sure to drop a like, really helps the channel out. And if you want new stock market videos every single week, make sure to subscribe as well. Bumble stock essentially boils down to two different dating apps, Badoo and Bumble. These apps are actually available in over 150 countries all over the world, so this is global, and they managed to bring in 40 million monthly active users combined between the two of them. And most of the monthly users actually come from Badoo with over 28 million monthly active users. And if you're from America, you probably haven't heard of it, but that's because it's sort of a foreign dating app in terms of the fact that it's very popular in places like Europe and Latin America. Nevertheless, it's still a very big dating app, and if you actually compare it to other dating apps in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, then you can see that they actually managed to make the sixth most revenue in May of 2020. However, the main part of their business is actually their Tinder rival, Bumble, which actually makes up 60% of their revenue despite only having 12 million monthly active users, so even less than Badoo. The majority of Bumble's users actually come from America, which makes sense because the US is the biggest online dating market in the entire world. And something really awesome about this app is that it's the second player, okay? You got Tinder, you got Bumble, and you got others, but it's pretty much, it comes down to Tinder and Bumble. And Bumble has actually been catching up quite a lot to Tinder because Tinder's the number one, Bumble's number two. If you look at this chart of the market share for dating apps, Bumble actually grew from 10% in 2017 to 19% of American dating app revenue in 2020. Just looking at the App Store ratings, Bumble has a higher rating as well with a 4.2 out of 5, while Tinder has a 3.8 out of 5. When you really break it down though, Tinder and Bumble are essentially the same app, right? They serve the exact same purpose, they have the same function. You go on and try to find someone you think is attractive, and you swipe right, you swipe left, you message people, you chat with people, all that good stuff. The biggest difference between Tinder and Bumble though is the branding. So Bumble focuses a lot on women. They try to put the women first. If you actually go on Bumble, you get a match, let's say, the woman has to actually send the message first. Whereas with Tinder, anyone can send the message at any time. The app's brand of being focused on women and putting them first in the online dating scene has actually paid off quite a lot for them, with one study showing that 77% of women actually felt more comfortable using Bumble than any other dating app. Bumble also has 30% more girls than guys on the app, and if you think about it, this actually helps get more guy customers as well. I mean, let's face it, Tinder and Hinge and all these different dating apps, a lot of the people on there, it's a sausage fest, okay? There's way more guys than girls. So clearly an app that has more girls than guys is gonna have some sort of advantage. Also, guys just tend to go where the women are. I mean, there's a whole Dave Chappelle skit about it.
Men have nice cars, not because they like nice cars, because they know women like nice cars. That's how it goes. Because men are hunters, and the car is the bait.
So Bumble has a brand focusing mainly on women, and that brings more females in. That also indirectly brings in more males. So clearly that's all a good sign. But what else is going on for the company? They also have a friend side of their app and a business side of their app. But I'm going to be honest, these are complete garbage, okay? I didn't know why anyone would download Bumble to find a friend and swipe right, but maybe I'm just not thinking innovative enough. But personally, I would love to see Bumble get rid of these features, okay? If you're going on business, you're probably gonna go on like LinkedIn. You're not gonna use Bumble. That would just be really weird, but who knows? Maybe in the future it'll happen. I don't think so though. I think they should just cut their losses and just focus on dating completely. Now that we've covered the main fundamentals of the business, we can dive deeper into the financials, which is extremely important. If you're gonna invest your money in this company, we wanna know how much money they're making, how much money they're losing, etc. So in 2020, the company managed to make $542 million in revenue, and that's actually up 19% year over year, with $300 million of that coming from the Bumble app and the other $200 coming from Badoo. If we compare that to their biggest competitor, their biggest threat by far, Match Group, or better known as Tinder, we can see that Match actually grew their revenue 17%, so Bumble actually had slightly better revenue growth for 2020. The more exciting main thing to note though is the fact that Bumble managed to grow their paying users by 22% to 2.5 million, up from 2.1 million last year. Tinder, however, only had 12% subscriber growth, so clearly Bumble kind of has a leg up in that area. Bumble's average revenue per user also went up from $19.99 in 2019 to $20.02 in 2020, so it didn't go up a lot, which is a little disappointing, but it did go up ever so slightly. They managed to increase that by increasing the average revenue per user on the Bumble app. However, this was offset by a decrease in average revenue per user on the Badoo app, which is not a great sign. You don't want to see that. Another struggle that Bumble has is profitability, which makes me personally so mad. It irks me, okay? It grinds my gears. So they were actually profitable in 2019, but in 2020 they managed to lose $100 million. I tried to look deeper into why Bumble went from being profitable to really unprofitable in the matter of a year, and all I could find was that their G&A, or their general and administrative expenses, went up like $100 million over the year, so that is very bad. However, I think they're doing this to increase headcount, get more employees, and hopefully just grow the business more. This does not justify losing that much money, but I can understand it for the sake of growth in the company, which is definitely what they're trying to focus on at the moment. So I do understand it to a degree. And looking at the balance sheet, they had only $128 million in cash by the end of 2020 and over $800 million in debt, but this doesn't include the IPO, so hopefully they're going to get billions in cash, and their balance sheet should be pretty healthy. It just looks bad for the moment. Looking towards the future potential and revenue growth for 2021, they're saying that they're going to make around $700 million, which is a growth rate of around 30% year over year. With a market cap of $14 billion, this would put their price to sales at a 20, and comparing that to Match or Tinder, their price to sales is actually a 16. So clearly Bumble has a higher valuation, but you're paying for more growth, right? Like Tinder is not going to grow nearly as much as Bumble in the coming years as Bumble continues to eat away at their market share and hopefully innovate as well. One last thing I do want to touch on is the fact that people say, Match is just way too powerful of a company. They own 5 of the 10 biggest online dating apps in the entire world, so they clearly have almost a monopoly. Not quite, but you know what I'm saying. They own a lot of the market, and I think that people think it's kind of a zero-sum game, but it's really not, because think about it, right? If you're going on dating apps, if you're going on Tinder, you're probably most likely going on Bumble. I don't think it's one or the other. I think you do both. So I think it's more a situation where as the industry grows, they both grow kind of concurrently. However, only time will tell. So with all that being said, you guys, what would make this stock attractive enough for me to buy? Personally, I think if it went to 10 billion in market cap, I think this company would be a really good deal. I think that's a share price around $50. I could be a little wrong on that, but I do think if this hits $45, I'm definitely buying like that, no question asked, because I really do like the company. Just at these current prices, the valuation just really isn't there for me. But obviously, guys, do your own research, okay? I'm not a financial advisor, so make sure to do your own research. Don't sue me. That would really suck. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Tinder, however, was only able to grow their subscribers by 12%. So clearly, Bumble has a leg up in terms of getting people to pay, at least in terms of growth.